Hello and welcome back to our Gone Solo Troika campaign. I am Royce Rosewood, your host and storyteller, and we're going to continue our very exciting adventure. So, before we begin, I want to do a quick shout out to Go Forth Adventurers. Thanks for the shout out on your channel. I really appreciated it. That may seem like it was a while ago, but because of the way I record these, there's space before I release them. So I've recorded several weeks out in advance, but I'm responding right away. There's just a couple week delay. So thank you so much for the kind words. I really appreciate it. If you're not already subscribed to Go Forth Adventurers, go check them out. Fun stuff, similar stuff, solo role-playing games. They've got a fun series called Space Idiots that I'm excited to follow up on. So there's that. So in our last episode, Magnaza and Teegem went into the lair of the Frostbug, a frozen over dungeon type area. They found, among other things, a bunch of villagers that had been frozen over. They've freed them with some salamanders, domesticated salamanders that they had obtained from the village. They found a hint as to the wizard that might be behind this, a wizard named Ogre Push, the insectomancer who, it turned out, Magnaza had hunted before, but always failed to catch. There was a flying mandible, and then they found Ogre Push himself, summoning something. Before they could do anything, he cast a spell. Well, Magnaza did get a shot off, so he's slightly damaged, but right now he's protected by a spell, and then the Frostbug came in, and that is where we left off. So, very exciting. We're obviously going to get into a big fight, and so I'll sort of set up what we are going to do for that when we get started. Let's go! All right, so I have rolled up some stats for the Frostbug. I have, a system here that I use to generate random stats. So I'll bring those up on the screen so you can take a look at them. Of keen interest is the damage, what I call the Ice Blast, which starts off pretty normal, but at the higher levels gets very big. So that was very scary to roll up. And then also, because we've seen evidence of what the Frostbug can do, freezing people over, I gave the Frostbug a skill, or a spell, sort of, that if you fail your luck test, then, whoops, you start to get frozen over, and then that can slowly eliminate the kinds of things that you're able to do. So there's that. So here is the situation, so we can all get it in our theater of the mind. Okay, so this is sort of a large open area. It's all frosted over. In the entrance, behind what we established was a barrier of ice, are Magnaza and Teegem. Okay, down in the center, so it sort of slopes downward, and then down sort of on the floor of this icy chamber is Ogre Push. He is currently in a dome of butterflies. Nothing can get through there that he doesn't want. So he is currently completely protected. He is in the middle of casting some sort of summoning spell. Okay, so there's that. And then on the other side, on the far entrance, is coming in this giant Frostbug. And the heroes also have each of them a salamander, which is a source of warmth. But I do not know if the salamanders are ready to fight on their behalf. They are just, animals, creatures. They came along. I don't know if they are willing to fight. So I have stats for them. But we will see how that goes. So we're obviously going to jump right in. The Frostbug is coming in, and we're going to get into our combat. So in Troika, we have to assemble our stack. So here's what we've got. We'll have Magnaza on red, so she's got 2 red cubes. All right. We'll have Teegem. I'm going to give Teegem an initiative of 2, and we'll have Teegem on the green cubes. Okay. So there's that. Ogre Push has an initiative of 3, and all the enemies get all on the same. So when we pull a white cube, so we have 3 for Ogre Push, 2 for the Frostbug. Okay, there's that. So those are the enemies, and then I will give the Salamanders 1 initiative each. So we'll put them on yellow. Okay, so 2 yellow cubes, and then of course our end of round cube. So here we go. The Frostbug comes in, and it's a large, sort of a grubby looking thing, meaning it looks like a grub. It's got a weird little face, and it's got, you know, fangs, but they're icicles and they're dripping down, and it's got all these little legs. You know, it's like a horrible maggoty millipede kind of thing, but you know, it's got this frost beard, and maybe there's bits of frost and ice all kind of caked along it, and it comes in, and it's huge, it's really big, and it comes in, and I guess it sort of shrieks. I don't know if it would really scream or howl. It's a bug, right? But it might go, you know, have some sort of chittering like me thing, and Magnaza says, "Whoa!" and Ogre Push is still in the middle of his summoning, but he's protected. And Teegem says, "This is the moment that I've been prepared for. Let us go!" All right, and so we go. So let's see who acts first. Okay, it's white, so it's going to be the Frostbug. So the Frostbug is going to target one of them for a freeze. Let's say targets. Well, let's roll. Let's see. 1, 2, 3 is going to be Magnaza. 4, 5, 6 is going to be Teegem. All right. So the Frostbug targets Teegem with its freeze over spell. So Teegem has to roll under skill. The NPC doesn't have luck. Okay. So Teegem has a skill of 3, and he just rolled a 3. Okay, so he's able to, he sees it coming, and odds beyond odds, he jumps out of the way, and the frost blasts and scatters everywhere. He says, "You'll have to try harder than that, Frostbug." Great. Okay, it's another white. The Frostbug is going to enraged that its freezing over didn't work, so it's going to target Teegem with its icy blast. So the Frostbug has 8 plus 9, which gives it a total of 17, and Teegem has 8 plus 3, which is less. So the Frostbug is going to do damage, but Teegem does have a point of armor, so which is going to reduce. Oh no! So that's a 6, but his armor knocks it down to a 5, which means the Frostbug does 10 points of damage to Teegem, taking him down to only 2 stamina remaining. So the ice blast comes in, and you know, little icicles go everywhere, and he's hit, and he's really shaken. And he's pushed up against the wall, but he all right. I can take more of that. All right, let's hopefully we get a hero in here. Come on. All right, green. That's Teegem. So he runs down the slope and he's got his long sword and goes, "Rah!" And he runs down, and he's gonna swipe at the Frostbug. All right, he rolls an 8, which is probably not going to be enough against the Frostbug's 5 plus 9, which is 14. His 8 plus 3 is an 11, so the Frostbug actually gets another hit. Oh no, poor Teegem. It's the 3 minus 2. Oh no, and that's another 4 damage, and Teegem is down. So he runs down, and he's trying his sword, and he says, "I will slay thee, Frostbug," and swipes. But the Frostbug is able to, knock him over with its little leg, and then blast him with some ice. And Teegem is down for the count. If there's nothing that if nothing happens by the end of the round, I mean, he's out. He's done. Oh, poor Teegem. All right, it's Magnaza. She's still up. She's still got cover, and she is going to fire her crossbow at the Frostbug. All right, so she's got 7. Okay, oh, that is not a great roll. Nope, she does not hit. It goes off, and she misses. She's not able to get a hit this time. All right, it's back onto the enemy. The Frostbug is going to try to freeze over Magnaza. So she's got to test her luck. She's got to roll under 6. Can she do it? No! Okay, so she's lost a luck, and now she is partially frozen over, so she cannot move. She is stuck in place. Oh, this is looking really bad. This is looking so bad. Oh no, and then the enemies get to move again. Oh, let's see. Is it going to try to blast, or is it going to try to freeze her over entirely? Let's see. It's going to try to freeze her over again, just try to totally cover her up. So she's got to test luck again, but she's got to roll under 5. I mean, come on. No, it's a 6. Oh, she's running out of luck. All right, who's next? All right, it's going to be a salamander. Okay, so the question is, are the salamanders actually going to help? Are they going to fight on behalf? Let's just ask the Oracle. Okay, are the salamanders going to help out, or are they running and fleeing? Okay, yes, they are going to help out, but it's a yes, but so they're not going to attack, but they can still help out. So the salamanders come up and they surround Magnaza, and they melt off the ice, and she's able to move again. Okay, great. All right, who's up next? Okay, Teegem, but he can't do anything. He's down for the count. He's out of stamina. Ooh, okay, it's the Frostbug again. All right, it sees that Magnaza's been freed, so he's gonna try to freeze her over again, which means Magnaza tests her luck. Under 4, nope. Okay. All right, it's not a lot of cubes left. Okay, that's another salamander. All right, and the salamander. All right, so it's a back and forth. So the Frostbug started to freeze over Magnaza. But then the salamanders thawed, and then it happens again to freeze over Magnaza. Thawed again. All right. Okay, and what's left? All right, Magnaza is going to be able to get off another firing with her crossbow bolt. Okay, nope. That's not going to do it. She loses another crossbow bolt. Ugh, this is going so bad. All right. Oh, and the last cube, and that's the end of the round. Unfortunately, my friends, Teegem is out. Well, geez. I guess we're heading back in. Frostbug is up again. Is it going to try to freeze or blast? It is going to try to freeze. All right, so Magnaza is just out of luck. She's got to test again. Nope. Okay, I mean, she's down to 2. That's basically nothing. Okay, so she's frozen in place. All right, and now here comes the Frostbug to fire with its icy blast. Okay, so sorry, that's 7. All right. Nope, so Magnaza's gonna get blasted for 4 damage. Okay, bringing her down to 13. Okay, so she's still okay. All right. Oh, but the Frostbug's gonna blast again. Okay, let's see, it's 12. Plus she's got some cover. Okay, yes, okay, so she's able to avoid that one. The blast misses her. And the little barrier that she has is able to block her slightly. All right, but oh, that's the end of the round. She doesn't even get to go this time. She's just totally overwhelmed. The Frostbug is just totally dominating this. As is Ogre Push. Okay. Frostbug again. Oh my gosh, this is just, I don't even know how they're gonna get out of this. Okay, yeah, the Frostbug is going to be able to damage. Oh, no. Oh, that's a 6. That's 20 damage. I mean, that's it, bud. Like, that's, you know, he said Troika was lethal, and that's it. I mean, that's how that goes. So I do have a question. No. Okay. My question was, you know, would the villagers come and help them, you know, after they were released? And the answer is no. No, they did not come and help them. That's it, my friends. That is the end of that. So Magnaza and Teegem totally overwhelmed by the Frostbug. And, well, there we go. You know, that's just how it goes. I really would have loved to, you know, finish off Magnaza's storyline. But, you know, at the end of the day, they were just, based on the stats that I rolled up for the Frostbug, they were just totally outclassed. I don't think there was any way, without some sort of additional strategy or help, that they were going to be able to defeat this Frostbug. And that is disappointing narratively. But again, this is a role-playing game. This is not, you know, a story as much as I like to lean into the narrative. You know, we'll just have to see. So I think what we're going to do is this. There's a couple of different options. We could switch over to Pointage, but I kind of like him kind of in sort of a semi-NPC role. So here's what we're gonna do. I think we're gonna roll for another player character. We'll just sort of see who comes up, and we'll see how that goes. Who we follow, you know. All right. So, who's our new character? 25. The Fellowship of Naidos. Mathemologists honor the clean and unambiguous truths of mathematics and coordinate them with their observations of the spheres. All things can be measured and predicted with the application of the correct mathemological ratios, those methods applied to penetrate the ethereal surface and glimpse the fundamental numbers below. They start with a large astrolabe, damages mace, that's funny, an abacus, and lots of scrolls and writing equipment. They have mathemology, astrology, and a spell of find. Interesting. So we've got a mathemologist. Hey friends, so apparently I lost a little bit of my recording when I was rolling up the name for the mathemologist, but we came up with Dragoegg for the name. So there you go. We will add another character. I rolled up a 32. So we got the Journeyman of the Guild of Sharp Corners. You're an assassin in training, graduated from fighting dummies and branding practice clients, freshly imbued with a license to ply your trade. You haven't fully developed the idiosyncratic methods required of a master, but you are on the path. Possesses black clothes of the apprentice, a garrote, a curved sword, 3 vials of poison, a crossbow, and 6 bolts, and then a whole bunch of skills. All right, now we need a name for this journeyman assassin. Okay, we got a thief with some gold. Then we got some bones. Gold bone? Okay, well, I'm not gonna lie, this has thrown me for a little bit of a loop, but we're going forward. I made my plan, I made my structure for how we would deal with the situation. So here's what we're gonna do. MacLeod is going to hire 2 more adventurers for some other quest or thing. But we're not starting from 0 because we've already established bits of this world. So it's possible that some of those threads, ideas, characters could weave back in. We'll just have to see. So once again, we are at MacLeod's palace, a lush, expansive place, and there's this large waiting room, and in the room we have someone who's quite buttoned up and wearing glasses and very precise and quiet and sort of looking at everything with a skeptical, analytical eye. This is Dragoegg, the mathemologist, and next to him, a small, little bit wiry, in a black cloak with shifting eyes, trying to project as much confidence as possible, is Goldbone, the journeyman assassin on her very first hire, but she doesn't want anybody else to know that. MacLeod speaks. Welcome. You may be wondering why I've invited you both here. Well, I have an interest in objects of magical purveyance, and unfortunately, both of my other adventurers are indisposed. But no matter, I'm sure your 2 skills will do just fine. Here's what I'm looking for. I've got a balloon and an egg. I'm looking for the egg of the balloon beast. Balloon beasts are quite rare, as you may have guessed, and their eggs are quite valuable and have magical properties. I need you to hunt down any balloon beast egg that you could find and bring it back to me. Dragoegg, I've hired you because you can find things and chart places. And Goldbone, I understand that you are a member of the Guild of Sharp Corners. So you run into any problems, well, you know how to deal with them. And they're sharp corners. Yes. Anyway, the pay is very large. If you could return this egg to me, I will be most grateful. So, Dragoegg and Goldbone leave the palace, and they need to introduce each other. And how does Dragoegg feel about working with this assassin? Well, he doesn't know that she's new, and he's a professional, right? He wouldn't mind, although he might be a little frightened. So Dragoegg says, well, it's nice to meet you, and I look forward to working with you on this hunt. Hopefully it will be quite interesting and stimulating intellectually. And yes, that's exactly right. Well, yes, I'm very good at stabbing. Yes, that's me. I definitely know what I'm doing. And if we come across something that needs stabbed, you know me, I'm just gonna stab it. That's what I do. I've been trained. That's me. Dragoegg clocks this and says, oh, okay. Great. So, they need to ask around, follow up. How are they going to find this balloon beast egg? Well, maybe there's some charts that Drago Egg, maybe there's a place of charts, some sort of library in Troika, and Drago Egg can go study the charts and find out about where these balloon beasts might reside. So Goldbone is going to go with him, just because she has nowhere else to go. So they're going to go to the library. Troika is a city, a very large city, so I'm sure there's some sort of library there. But before, or sort of interrupting that, we're going to see if there's an event that impacts us. Oh, a book enemy. Interesting. Okay. So what's going to be on 33? A Knight of the Road. Contrary to what the farmers tell you, the life of a vagabond is not an easy one. First, you must find a road, but not a quiet road, or else you'll wait for weeks without a client, nor should it be too busy, or else you'll no sooner have belayed the first about the bonds before another comes along and interrupts your exchange. After all that, you go back to your camp in the woods and sleep on the filthy ground and eat your meager meals. Farmers should have more respect for a hard day's work. So because we've rolled this Knight of the Road, we're going to say that this library is a little bit outside of the city, and the way to get there is to go on this road. So they are heading out. They are going along this road when they encounter a knight. And we're going to roll in the mean table to see what sort of state this knight is in. This knight is rowdy. Okay. So come up and they're going along this road, and this knight hops out and says, "Ha ha! This is my road, and you better get off of it or turn back, or because this is my road. We can't have any roustabouts about. No, we can't. Oh, no. And you look like a shady sort. Oh, I don't like the look of you. Oh." Dragoegg steps in, says, "Kind sir, perhaps I could provide you with some payment, and by this means we will be able to pass your fantastic and well-kept road, very well defended, so that we may proceed on to the library. What say you to this?" Does he accept the gold? "No." "Oh, you take me for a common briber? Ah, avast thee, and I..." What is he, a pirate? I don't know what's going on. "I'll prepare for the fighting times." All right, here we are in combat. All right, we're gonna give Dragoegg yellow 2 cubes. We're going to give Goldbone green 2 cubes. We're going to give this knight 2 cubes. Who's up first? Dragoegg takes his astrolabe and smashes it into the knight. That's 3. Oh, he's able to get a hit. All right, so that's damage. That's 1, -1 for the armor. So that's 2 damage on the knight, bringing his stamina down to 7, or from 7 down to 5. All right, so Dragoegg takes his astrolabe, smashes the knight, and able to get some damage off of that. All right, now it's the knight's turn. The knight's not going to have any of this. "Oh, you think you smash me? I smash you." Okay. 6 plus 7 is 13. 5 plus 6 is 11. The knight's going to get his hit in with his long sword. That's 4. So that's 8 damage upon Dragoegg. Oh. And he's smashed back. All right. That's the end of the round. So these go back in the bag. Goldbone, hanging back. Oh, wait, I know how to do this, but do I really know how to do this? All right. The knight gets another hit in on Drago Egg. That's 8. Yep. That's another hit. Another 4. 8 damage. Oh. Drago Egg, not in a good spot. Only 2 stamina left. All right, another attack. That's 10 and 10. Okay, so Drago Egg's going to test his luck. See if he can break this tie. Yep. All right, which means Drago Egg gets the hit. A 1. Not great, but we'll take it. Taking that knight down to 3. End of round. Come on, Goldbone, get in there. You're the assassin. Do some assassinating. All right, there we go, Goldbone. All right. She's finally awake. She's been stepping back. She's gonna fire her crossbow. All right, and she misses. Thanks for that, Goldbone. All right, Drago Egg's up, but he is low on stamina. He's gonna run. He's just gonna get out of there, get as far away from the knight as possible. This is not going well. And he is quite weakened. All right, so it's the knight is up. It is going to now run up and hit Goldbone, who's closer. Okay, 8 plus 7 is 12. 10 plus is 15. All right. So he comes out, but she's able to, get her sword out. She sees him coming, swaps out her crossbow for a sword, and damage this one. 4 damage. All right, and that's going to take out that knight. And they have defeated that knight. So Drago Egg sees that the knight has fallen, because we're panting and worn out, comes up to Goldbone and says, well, that didn't go very well. I thought you were supposed to be the muscle around here. And Goldbone says, I killed him. What do you want me to do? I killed him with my sword. Stab, stab, stab. You got a nice hit on him too. That was great. And Drago Egg says, in the future, I would prefer not to engage in combat. It's not really my thing. And while I do have this massive astrolabe, which I can hit people, it's not really the kind of thing that I want to do. So, maybe take the lead next time. Goldbone is ashamed. And she's just trying her best, but it's her first job, She's just trying her best. All right, so they make it to the library. We're going to have Drago Egg test his astrology to see if he can, find any charts. So no, he's not able to find any charts about balloon beasts or anything. They must be very, very far away. He's scouring the charts. He's looking them over. Goldbone is sort of standing crossed arms in the corner. There's all these shelves full of scrolls and things. She's like, I don't know if I like it here. Drago Egg finds nothing. Ugh. Well, this is not good. Find nothing. They must be very rare indeed. We'll have to come up with some other sort of plan to find a balloon beast. Does the librarian happen to know anything. Let's find out who this librarian is. Let's roll in a mean table here. Okay, 1, 2, 3. A bemused librarian. So Drago Egg comes up to the librarian and says, I'm looking for any information you have about balloon beasts. Have you heard of such a thing? The librarian. Balloon beasts. You think you can just find a balloon beast? Do you think that's just something that people can find? They are incredibly rare. And if I had any information, do you think I would be here? Do you think I would be here in this library? No. I would be using those eggs, and I would be living the life of a fantastical king or queen. So, no, I don't know where any balloon beasts are, but have fun. Great. So, well, dead end. This is obviously going to take more effort than just looking up in a book. So, well, I guess I'll have to head back to Troika. Hopefully they don't run into anything on the way, because Drago Egg is not up for that. If they're a little bit out of town and there's a library here, is there an inn here that they can stay? Maybe like hang out, hunker down for the night, rest up before heading back? No, there's not an inn, but the librarian will let you sleep in the library for a couple of silver pence. So they pay their silver and rest for the night, so Drago Egg can recover. 7, that'll put him at 9. He'll eat a provision to put him at 11. Okay, that's better. So they're spending the night at the library, and I'm just going to roll the event chart, see if anything comes to bear on this situation. Oh, rolling on the point of interest table. Okay. 54 ruins. Okay. Drago Egg is looking over some scrolls and stuff, or they're, you know, they're just sort of idly researching. They couldn't find anything before, but they come across some information about some ruins. And what's interesting about these ruins? Well, there's a mushroom that grows there. A mushroom that will turn you to great size. It's basically just a Mario mushroom, right? Mushroom, elephant, right? Okay. Oh, he thinks, well, that's kind of interesting. Maybe that could be of help, of use. I don't know. Where are these ruins? Are they on the Troicosphere or somewhere else? Yes, they are on the Troicosphere. How far are they? Oh, they're not too far. Maybe just the next town over. Okay, this is sort of coalescing into a location. So what is kind of the name of this place? We've got sort of a crown, a circlet, or you could call it a diadem, and a surprise. Diaprise. So these are the Diaprise ruins, and there's a library not too far. So it's a very, very sparse community. Drago Egg says, well, I wonder if these this mushroom and these ruins nearby might be of help. And Goldbone, who I said earlier is a little bit smaller, a little bit scrawny, thinks, oh yes, that would be really great. That would help me feel nice and confident if I was of massive size, if I was really big. So Goldbone says, yeah, no, for sure, we should definitely go find this mushroom. That was great. Yeah, let's do that. Drago Egg says, well, all right, well, look, the quest of knowledge often leads in unexpected places, so yes, we will go investigate this. So, all right, so I think That's a thread. They're going to go find the growing mushroom in the ruins. All right, well, thanks for sticking around with me. I know that kind of took a turn, you know, but I put my system in place to be able to deal with character death, and so here we are. So who knows how these threads will come together, if at all. We'll just have to keep playing and find out. That's what we do. So until next time, if you're enjoying this, you know, like, subscribe, share with someone. That would actually be really great. Recommendations is going to be really great. Until next time, this is Science Fantasy Awesome, but you're awesome.